Hi class, in this module we are going to talk about the practice of teaching, and you have two main readings, the chapter 7 from Latuka and Stark, and also several chapters in the Brookfield text. One of the key components that is not necessarily part of your discussion this week is what I call the intentional learning framework. And so this is from Latuka and Stark's chapter, and it is related to teaching learners how to learn. And I'll get to a quote at the end that really illustrates how students can be on a spectrum, but I just want to briefly review these 5 areas: questioning, organizing, connecting, reflecting, and adapting. So questioning really has to deal with intellectual curiosity. I thought this photo was a good illustration of what questioning would be. Is you're looking at a literal puzzle, you're trying to figure out how all the pieces fit together. It also includes the idea of critical thinking, which was also presented in the Brookfield text, and that is related to reasoning, analysis, problem solving. And so that is a very key component to intentional learning, for learners to really take authorship and ownership of that learning process. 2 others are organizing and connecting. So in organizing, a learner can show ownership by having a framework for their understanding of the content, by linking it to prior learning, right? So being able to connect concepts from one course to concepts into their current course. Also through diagrams and concept mapping, both are techniques that can be added into your teaching practice to bring some structure to that organizing. And then in connecting, this is when a learner is able to really integrate their knowledge. It also involves metacognition. So the knowledge, the recognition that one is in the process of learning, and the reflection is strongly tied to this connecting piece as well. The last one is adapting, and I put an example here of the high road and the low road, and there are 2 ways that we talk about transfer of knowledge. So the low road there is involving already prepared skill sets that we have. And so the example that the text gives you is really an application of an analogy. We call that in psychology analogous problem solving. And that would be being able to transfer knowledge of one concept to a new concept. Like something that you are learning in a calculus course could be applied to what you're doing in a physics course because you recognize the similarity. On the high road, it requires more abstract application of the information and the concepts. So for the example that's in your text, is that those who are learning in history courses would need to do some adapting to be able to apply that information to current events. And so it requires a bit more conscious thought. I want to leave you with a quote here, again from Latuka and Stark. In thinking about the teaching practice, instructors must select course topics and develop instructional strategies that acknowledge students' current status, meaning where they are in this questioning, adapting, connecting, yet challenge them to move to the next stage. So you want to take a pulse for where your students are. Are they able to organize and connect, or are they still in the questioning phase? I also think you can be in more than one phase at a time. So this is really about getting to know your learners and being able to adapt yourself to your instructional strategies. And we will talk in the discussion this week about different techniques, things that you might find to be challenging, and ways to overcome them.